What's up, everybody? I think there's a couple of people in the chat right now we're watching. We'll get started in just a minute here. I wonder why that's not working. Maybe this will work. Why don't I see it? Let's try this. That's better. Okay. Okay, so I think we're all set up and going now. So first and foremost, I hope everybody is doing well. It's the somewhat end of a very strange and for some people very stressful week, and it's understandable. And I'm sure you've heard over and over again that this is unprecedented. This is new for everybody else too. And yeah, it's true. And I think that for a lot of our students, it's probably even more stressful because I think there might be even more uncertainty for all of you. Everybody goes into a school year with certain expectations that, you do your work, you stay on top of things, and you're going to be able to progress to the next year. And that's the way it's gone on for a really, really long time, for as long as we probably have record for modern school. And right now, we're all having to answer questions that we never thought we were going to ever have to address. And we're figuring it out as we go along. I know that all of your teachers at Northview are trying their best to maintain some sort of sense of normalcy with assignments and contact. And I hope that you're checking in with all your teachers. And make sure that you're talking to your fellow students, anybody that you're in contact with, and ask how they're doing and if they need any assistance. And make sure that you're passing that on to adults that teachers, counselors, and we're going to try to make sure that everybody has what they need going forward. It's really important, even more than the schoolwork or coursework. We want to make sure that you're all doing okay. With all that being said, I also feel that I have a responsibility, especially with my AP students, to make sure that you're getting the content you need for for the expectations of the class, and that is getting AP credit, not just for the class, but hopefully for the AP test. So today we finally got some updates for information. College Board released some information that said that most tests for AP classes are going to be changed and in some cases reduced in some ways. So for those of you that have more than one AP class, meaning you have more than this AP class, make sure that you check in with the other AP teachers and the other AP courses to see what those responsibilities are and how things have changed. So for AP Computer Science Principles, what's changed is that your entire AP test is going to only be based off of your Explore Performance task and your Create Performance task. So as of right now, it would be a good idea to go back and review your Explore Performance task. Did you finish? Did you meet the requirements? Is there stuff you still had to finish? Because now's the time to do it. The second thing is that we are on the verge of starting the Create Performance task, which some of you I think might have already started, and others are still kind of figuring out what you want to do for the project. And that is a good point, good part to be at right now, because you have as of right now, all the way until I think the date, and I'll have to double check here in a moment, until May 26th to get all of your items into your online portfolio to turn that in. That's quite a bit of time. That's a lot of time to finish what we have already kind of established. And for those of you that already finished your app analysis project, you're in an even better spot, because that app analysis project still has to be done. It's going to help you get into the headspace of thinking about apps, how they function, and being able to break it down to those simpler parts to make it more accessible, so that you can replicate and not imitate as much, but use for inspiration the things that you want to create. And I also want to emphasize that even though there's a set criteria for what you need to create, do for the Create Performance task, I want it to be something that you're proud of and that you have an interest in. So for instance, if you have no interest in games, don't create a game. Find that area of interest that you have, whether it might be food, cooking, retail, shopping, fashion, and maybe games or something else I'm not even mentioning right now, and consider doing that into some sort of app that meets the requirements for the Create Performance task. I'm not going to go over the criteria right now in this video. I'll be doing that probably on Monday or Tuesday, but I did already link all the resources so you can start reading and looking through on your own to see what some of those things are. There are 2 or 3 portions of the requirements that I will be spending time on, creating a video and maybe a couple documents to help make sure that that information and those expectations are clear. And that's exactly what I would have done in the classroom anyways. It's just now that we're doing it remotely and virtually instead of face-to-face. And if there are enough of you in the class that want to do kind of a live meeting all at once for like one-on-one discussion, we can do that too through Zoom, which is an app you've probably heard a lot about lately for doing large meetings. So that's definitely something that we can kind of explore, and I'm willing to carve time out for all of us to do. I think having a direct conversation is still more effective than you passively listening now. Whether this is live or listening to it at a later date that was pre-recorded, you're still missing some sort of live interaction and conversation. I think still needs to kind of take place, and I want to make sure that I'm allowing the opportunity for that, if that's what's needed. So that's kind of where we are right now. So that kind of covers the current state of the AP test. So the Explore Performance task and the Create Performance task is going to make up 100% of your test. There is no more multiple choice portion. And that's both good and bad at the same time. I think the preparation and the studying for that test adds a lot to general knowledge and helps push people's understanding of computer science forward. But for right now, given our circumstances, the fact that we only have to focus on those 2 performance tasks, I think is a really positive thing. So the next part of this conversation has to do with student expectations. So I'm gonna talk about it in 2 different ways. I'm gonna talk about it in terms of bare bones expectation for your grade and your credit in class, and I'm gonna talk about it from a more personal expectation. So I was on a conference call earlier this morning with one of our admins, and we're talking about this exact thing about student expectation. So in this specific class, it's going to be different for all your other classes, and I really urge you to make sure that you have that conversation with your other teachers. But in this class right now, the expectation is that up to this point right now, you've completed all the work that's been asked of you. So all the different units in code, the explore performance task, and the create performance task that is pending right now. That is, as of right now, I'm considering 100% of your coursework. So if you were able to finish the create performance task over the next, let's say, week and a half, my base expectation would be you finish the course. You're done. Kind of. Because that's all we can kind of hold you accountable for right now in class. Until things change or until we're actually back in a physical classroom, that's all I can kind of expect. And that's where this class sits. So you already know what your expectation is for now to the end of the year, and that is all of your coursework. Because for the most part, that's all you would have been. That's most of what you would have been responsible for, anyways, being in this class. And if you finish all the coursework that you need in order to complete the AP test, then that's pretty much a success. Now, the other side of that is I have some personal expectations of all of you. And that has to do with continued growth in this topic. So after the AP test, or once I kind of get verification that everybody has finished all parts of the AP test, and I'm hoping that we can all finish that before May 26th, is this. I would still like to continue and try to do some form of the final project that I proposed earlier, where you create an app of your own in code.org that is different or more fleshed out than what you did for the AP test. A physical computing project, which is now really challenging because we don't have access to the circuit boards I would have provided in class. Creating a game through Unity, if you have access to Unity at home. Well, everybody has access to Unity, but everybody may not have a computer set up to run it. Or learning a new programming language. And we could do that through Codecademy, Concademy, or a couple other resources that I can make available. Maybe even opening TechSmart back up and letting you do something through there. I would like there to be some sort of final culmination type project that is purely your interest and what you want to do. My concern and my desire for all of you is to continue doing something in this realm in one way or the other. But also taking this knowledge and applying it to that area that you have the most passion for, whether it's music, gaming, fashion, food, in any other categories that I'm forgetting to mention right now. I want you to take that information and apply it to whatever your passion is. I think that's going to be an ongoing conversation, and we'll need a little bit more direct interaction with all of us to really kind of flesh that out. But I would like to maintain that. I don't think I have much more for you at this moment. I know this is kind of a late stream at this time of the day since it's about 2:45 right now. But I think that we'll kind of start fresh talking about the create performance task, and I'll try to lay out all the material that I would have had for you anyways, as if we were in the physical classroom, and that we'll go from there. So I hope that you're checking Classroom on a regular basis. I'm trying to post anything that comes up. Make sure that you're staying in contact with all of your other teachers, and hopefully each other, your friends. Set up a Google Hangout, talk on chat, Messenger, whatever you can. I think that interaction and that contact is going to be really important right now to kind of keep us somewhat sane. I think I'm even feeling a little bit cooped up here at home. I try to get out when I can outside, get some sun, walk around, play with my kids, but we have some limitations right now, and we're just trying to do the best we can with them. I hope that you're finding the information somewhat useful, and I really hope that everybody is doing well. If you have any issues, if anything's going on, make sure that you're reaching out to somebody. Contact me, email me, and I'll do what I can to help. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Give yourselves a little bit of a break. Make sure you're getting good rest. Relax. And I'll talk to everybody later. I'll see you.